bracket.
Could not be more excited loading into Oregon here, Jackie. It's a map that we've seen some real battles, huge duels on, and it is going to be the decider for us. So up at the top of your screen, you can see those two little yellow rectangles that tell you it is one map apiece so far. We've seen Clubhouse go in the favour of FaZe. We've seen Team Liquid take Coastline. Now, if you're looking for sort of any advantage to be found there, Liquid did win 7-1, whereas FaZe Clan had to rely on all 15 rounds and an 8-7 to get that first map over the line. So Team Liquid looking slightly stronger so far, would have to say. And the bans are coming in now for Oregon. We have Montagna and Capitao off the board. Valkyrie will join as the first of the defenders, and then FaZe's second ban alongside their Monty pick will be Clash. They do not want any shields on this one.
Ooh. All right. Here we go. This is actually quite spicy then. Obviously removes a lot of that big shielded potential. They don't want anyone that's going to be too thick coming into this game, Tim. They are really trying to take it raw when it comes to the firepower. Give it to you raw. No trivia. That's what we're looking at here on the third and final map for the series. Oregon is set to be a banger. Definitely strapping for this one. Tell your friends about it and get ready because the sixth major is really only just beginning. We'll be finding out who our second finalist will be out of the result for this game. Who will fight Team NIP tomorrow. It is going to be a surefire result. Get ready for it as we go into the opening round. Team Liquid on attack, and they are going to have FaZe Clan on the defense. Tim, here in Oregon.
Going to be heading down to that basement site to begin with, and you've got to say that the sides coming into this, the defense starting with FaZe Clan, does potentially benefit them. But if Team Liquid, by contrast, can come in and just snag a couple of wins on the attack, we could have a little bit of a coup on the cards. They're going to be aiming for 3-0, I would have suggested. They will see that as a very successful beginning to this map, and then they will look to close things out on the defense. And right now, we can see the drone of Ness away in there. He's just going to hold off on that one. Sexy Cake as well. He's just well poised at the doorway there. So this signals to me that we're going to see a bit of attention potentially paid towards Bunker. We've got Sexy Cake. He's just feeding that information in. He will see the Wamai, I think it was, of Mav just moving in there. And yes, we see as soon as the blocks go down and the race starts towards the site, there is a rush towards that rear stage and bunker area.
All right, well, we're in. We're in the middle of the bits. We've stepped into the ring. I'm going to see who will be standing tall when the bell will be rung. 2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock here as we've just kicked this one off. And talking of kicking, Mav, he might go down kicking and streaming towards the stairs, Tim, if the push comes to shove. As Liquid, they're in close proximity already, and he's just lurking on the angle, waiting for that close contact to be found, bouncing between two different positions, trying to hold both of these entrance points and lock down these choke points, denying an early bit of leeway being gifted over the Team Liquid in the opening moments of the round.
FaZe very good on the defense here previously, around about an 80% win rate. That's probably fair to say of most of the teams in the league so far, if not all here on Oregon. Laundry has been somewhat of a fortress for many of these teams, just managing to hold on to it round after round. We can see all those Wamai magnets around the bunker door there. They certainly don't want those throwable utilities raining in on live. We'll open things up with one onto Palu. Moringa will trade that one back out. Moringa, bit of an unsung me tonight. We've been shouting his name out an awful lot, Jackie. He's really put in a shift on this matchup so far.
No, yeah, he definitely has been. He's been stepping up when other players have been sleeping, really. That's what we've seen, and it's been a huge trend. He's been a gigantic boom for the side, Tim, and I'm glad to see it as well because he's been so powerful for them. He's shown up in clutch rounds throughout the course of the regular season, but in the major, he has been a monsoon with the way he has been overpowering so many players in the 1v1s. It's his clutch potential that's definitely been perking our interest in.
It really has, and right now, We're at a little bit of a stalemate here in the round. 55 seconds to go. Not a huge amount of map control taken by Liquid. It's very sedate so far as the pace. This is going to come down to a last 20-second or so assault, I would suggest. We've got FaZe Clan with 4 just turtled in sight. They're just going to try and hold their angles. We can see they've got themselves hard wedged into corners there, just waiting to fight back. But PSK, he's going to try to open things up with the exothermic charge, but this single door is going to be locked off by that smoke. Second canister coming out there, and time can be denied. Ion will shut down Moringa as soon as that wall is opened up, and that now leaves us in a 4 versus 3. And Liquid, they're going to have to make a move. They're going to have to drop some unexpected shapes onto FaZe Clan here, and that is the first of them. Ness coming in and just getting the kill onto Yuna. Out goes the nade. That could have been a second. PSK, however, will get Ion, and right now the diffuser is going down. The question is, can they protect their man? Sexy Kate will be shut down. Map with a huge triple at the end. What a round from him to just rescue that round from the jaws of defeat for FaZe Clan.
Oh man, I hate these rounds, Tim. We've seen it so many times where Liquid, they'll go in for the last minute execution. They're more than content to play it in that manner. But it always feels like when they go for it, it's just at the worst possible time. And you'll see a power play, a hero play coming out of the other team. Mav shows up at the best possible opportunity, arrives just on time with the AUG, giving them gunishment, Tim, one after another, ripping heads clean off, and heads will roll. It looked like Project X with the way he played it, as he gets a banging opening round on the board and takes the first for the defense, and that is scary, because that very well could have been a Liquid lockdown on the opening round. The fact that they've conceded it, oof. Now I'm on edge, because I feel like FaZe Clan, you can build off the back of that, Tim. You want to get that clean start on your defense in a map like Oregon. This is where you can really build yourself a pretty lead, and with that being the owner, keep it rolling. Get some more. Get yourself towards the free region.
They're going to have to take the next step here on Dorms. That will be looking to put them 2 on the board now. It's a relatively new map, so there could be easily people who have not seen this one played out too much. You might be looking at this thinking, exactly what am I going to see? What am I going to see on attack of Dorms? And generally speaking, there are 2 major elements to this push with a couple of optional extras. But generally speaking, you're going to see attention paid towards the attic and to master bedroom. And that is why that is a lot of the utility being used in those areas. So the attackers, they're going to try to gain control of both of those areas if they can, and then they can mount a push in towards the games room, which used to be the generator room on Old Oregon. It's that same sort of space. They'll push in towards games room, which is generally the default plant spot, and try to get it down there. Now, the optional extras that I talk about, they are available on both sides. So the attackers, they can get themselves onto the double window. It is still useful to cut down rotations through the site. Less influential than maybe it once was, but still very, very useful to the attackers. By contrast, the defenders, they have an option of playing a man downstairs. They've got Mav with a nitro in hand. He is upstairs at the minute. He's remaining on site, but there is the possibility of dropping down underneath and looking for that vertical denial. We have seen it be successful so far, and that is a risky little play from Astral there, just getting himself right up near that attic wall just before it's breached. And so far, so good for Team Liquid. They are less than a minute in when they get the attic wall open and can start applying pressure and clearing that utility to allow at least half of the push to start coming along.
Minute and 40 seconds, effectively. Nothing too overly aggressive coming out from Liquid right now. You can see they're grouped up with a buddy system play, Tim, playing off of one another. So if they get contact, if they do lose out in the fight, there's room for a quick trade to swing in. That's also the response we've got from FaZe Clan, effectively, on the early crossfires. Waiting to see where the carnage will come from. Ooh, vertical angle also in play. Palu looking up. Is he going to be a honed edge, a blade through the man? Will he be able to overpower? Person just sat on top of the fan blades, waiting for the push. We are seeing them fanning the flames here on the close contact towards bridge. 60 seconds now on the round. They're keeping them back. They're quelling the push and at least slowing it down. So when it comes to the late round execution, once again, Team Liquid won't have a lot of time to do anything too crazy, Tim. They'll have to effectively funnel themselves in from one choke point. Palu still trying to get this frag off by the player behind the sofa. keeps himself alive. That was clutch. Drops it down. It lands on the fan blades. Palu realizes, instantly reacts, flicks up with the L85 and shuts down that Nitro. That could have been the end of him. In the end, it's just the beginning for him in the round. 30 seconds, Tim. Push comes the shove. They need to get into the site soon. All the choke points are being held. It's a stalemate. It's 5 on 5. Finally, we see some blood being spilt as Palu. That verti angle will eventually pay off as he'll find a flick up. Sexy Kid coming back through one of his own onto live as well, making him look more like dead. And just dominating against everyone else that'll peek into him. Ion and Astro, the last two alive. FaZe Clan, surely you drop the round. Unless this man could do something ridiculous, it would have to be a 1 versus 3 clutch. And it's not going to be. It's going to be big man Palu, 1 by 1, the superstar of Sledge, chopping them to pieces.
Palu's patience really paying dividends in that round. He just held that vertical angle for, it must have been 2 minutes. And as you say, a nice flick shot onto the Nitro. Never hard to hit. It was never easy to hit. Only a few pixels that he had really as the Nitro landed on those fan blades. And whether it would have directly got the kill or not, I'm not 100% sure at that distance, but it would have certainly rocked him to his very soles of his shoes. That much is for sure. We're going to have a look at that on the replay as well as a couple of other bits from the round, I think. And we can just see it was just a lot of domination from Palu, essentially. He kept himself patient throughout the round, and then he just came in with a massive double there at the end to finish things off. And great plays from him once again. And we say it, he's a player that's been on pause a little bit. He's had his moments, but not quite necessarily as consistent as we have seen from him over the last couple of weeks. But if he can get himself rolling on Oregon, he could really be the difference maker.
Mate, throughout the whole major, he's been the difference maker for Team Liquid. He genuinely is on another level. The guy just goes ham over and over again. He's been on X Games mode the whole tournament. Can't wait to see if he'll be able to maintain that pace here throughout this third and final map. A sickeningly good series that's only been getting better. It has aged like a fine wine, and at this point, it feels like we're starting to sip on the rosé. As it goes 1-1 here on the split, we come back in for the third round. Liquid, will you be able to keep those smooth moves up going back into this, or will there be some treacherous roads ahead?
Heading into round number 3 then, as you say, Team Liquid, they are just trying to go keep things smooth sailing now. They want to steady this ship and they want to start to get some rounds on the board. And you've got to say, if they can come out, as I said, of this attacking half in a 3-3 scenario on the scoreboard, then it really does start to favour them. Now, interestingly, we've got Yuna on the hiding himself out in Armory there, and if he isn't picked up by Team Liquid, he could have a massive influence on this round, because last time we saw a little bit of attention paid to Attic, but ultimately the final push, the spearhead, came in through Master Bedroom, into the closet and through into Game Room. And if Yuna isn't picked up on the mute there in Armory, he could do some serious damage on the flank there. And once again, the wall is opened up quickly into Attic for Team Liquid, and that gives them every opportunity to really apply some pressure to this defense from multiple angles now.
Multiple avenues of attack that have been opened up then. And also, many different layers of verticality. It's like a cake with the way it's looking, and this could be a hell of a tasty play. The timing on it is brilliant, and the follow-up is there. Palu, you naughty man, chucking out that HE, detonating the floor below with the nade coming through at the perfect time, cooking it like a boiled egg, and being able to crack open the head of Yuna with the follow-up rounds that were fired upon him from his rifle. Tim, 1-1, but it could quickly fall in favor of Liquid here, and this could turn into a 2-1 if they maintain this pace. Palu's got the low ground. The rest of the squad starting to inch their way further forward as well, heading into the dorms now as Moringa will tear down those barricades and open up their avenue of attack. This is going to be a hard-fought fight for FaZe Clan here, bringing it back from a deficit.
Surprising to see so much of a struggle here on dorms. It is usually a more successful site for the defenders, but that being said, round 3 is not in the books yet for Team Liquid, and generally speaking, what we have seen is that this defense can be a little bit like an onion. You peel back a couple of those layers, but you are still left with a pretty solid core, and that has been what the difficulty the attackers have faced a number of times. We've seen this brought back from 2 versus 4. We've seen it brought back from 3 versus 5. It is not an easy site to assault onto, even with a man advantage. So FaZe don't need to panic just yet. 5 versus 4, 20 seconds left to go. This is going to come down to an absolute bloodbath in the final 15 seconds here, as we see the man, Sexy Cake, just looking to get any angle that he can in towards the Kid Storms. He finds one, and he gets the kill. That's Mav off the board. Diffuser going down now. PSK will try to stick that. Astro gets one back, but traded out. Unbelievable plays there as we find ourselves quickly in a 4 versus 2. The defenders now have all to do. Ion, however, will get one onto Sexy Cake. He gets himself a second. We've seen him do this before in Dorms. We've seen him have successful clutch. And right now, there is about 23 seconds for them to do something about this. Palu will get live. It's all coming down to Ion. Shut down as he moves through the door. It's going to be Nesk. The deadly duo once again, just dialing up the pressure and closing out round number 3.
Oh, man. Oh, I was terrified, Tim, when he turned the corner, came round, running through the threshold at the door, heart rate increasing, looking like he was going to be able to find the flick. The spam for the full foosball table is all that would have been required to drop the man with the diffuser and stop the round dead in its tracks right then and there, because Liquid, they're still going for this slow style where they execute in the last possible seconds of the round. So time to reinitiate the diffuse if they get knocked off it. And that was clutch. Good adjustments, good flick shots, and a beautiful round all in all to give them a second. They now take 1 round lead over FaZe into this third and final map. And what's scary is, of course, is they're on their attack, Tim. This is Oregon. This is a map that we've spoken so much about in the sense that it's a little bit defender-centric at the moment, especially throughout the LATAM season as well. It has been more defender-sided. You've seen them building up a large buffer there and struggling. Normally for Team Liquid as well, Tim, they don't have the best attack opening up on Oregon. They've had some sloppy starts, but this is by no means a sloppy start. This is looking clean and clinical from Liquid.
It really is at the minute. They're doing very, very well. Where we have seen them succeed, particularly on the attack, has been on those tertiary sites. Kitchen and Meeting, especially Liquid with a 100% win record there. And so they just need to keep on rolling at this point. They just need to keep on pushing forward. If we have a look at their defense, there is not a single site with a less than 50% win rate, and that is when we're taking into account the tertiary sites. Primary and secondary, we've got Kids Dorms, Laundry Basement, 80% and 60%. So they are very solid on the defense, and if they can get there, even with an advantage from the attack, they are going to be seriously dangerous. But we are in round number 4 now. We're going to be attacking onto Laundry once again. It came down to a very late push last time around. Liquid managing to get bunker and rear stage control, and then push into site from there. And it all came down to those last fights, and ultimately FaZe were just able to drag themselves over the line. But it did feel like it was close run, and it was a bit last ditch. And right now Paolo is making very quick progress onto taking control of those stairs, and if this continues, Liquid are going to be in a better position than they were last time, because they're going to have more time on their hands.
Which is way better. It means they won't panic as much into the late round, and obviously it will make their lives a whole lot easier, but they need to get picks. That is the big question. Will this split and pick speedier style of siege that's coming through from Liquid work well when they actually do finally get contact into the round? And the contact could be coming out sooner rather than later. Sexy Cake would be the one to gain it, you'd imagine, as he looks peering over the top of the hatch, getting his eyes right into the monitor and trying to sniff them before he'll see them. What's scary is, though, Tim, they're walking into this man as well. They'll have to bypass players like Yuna on the smoke with a shotgun. They've been so effective throughout the regular season with it. They've been able to overthrow anything that comes towards him. He's single-handedly dispatched Monties and whole squads when they've executed upon him. At least this time, they have a little bit of a lull. He's not going to be tested too much, as the majority of the push is actually coming through as a Wolfpack style play from Liquid. They're going for an all-out full frontal assault onto the B site.
Mab has taken a lot of damage in there on the Wammer. He's now down at about 15 health. Those are the only hit points that have been lost at this stage. 54 seconds left to go, and we might see... Nope, I thought we were going to see the late reinforcement coming in that seems to have become somewhat of a trend on that wall. But no, out comes the nade. get the deployable shield and just allow Liquid to start pushing forward towards site now. Palu opening up the walls there with the sledge. He's just looking to get himself in, and we know exactly what he can do when he gets himself around the mix. He's going to look to challenge onto Freezer potentially. He knows there will be a man playing in there. He's just peeking down the corridor to see what he can see. Blue using that pillar as cover. That was absolute fractions of a millimeter there from him seeing live, and we can see there's explosions going off left, right and center. Ion will be downed in sight on the mirror, and that is a small advantage to Team Liquid, but the clock is ticking away right now, and FaZe, they just need to hold on. But PSK, he's getting that diffuser down now. The question is, can he be covered better than last time? Absolutely not. Astro with a huge 3K comes in when his team need it, and the clock will tick away. Ness gets one, but it is going to be nothing more than a vanity kill for Team Liquid as Astro comes in clutch during that round.
And Team Liquid again, feeling the burn as they fly too close to the sun. They're leaving it down to the wire every time, Tim, with these executions, and it does also feel like FaZe have started to read that and understand how to counter it here on Oregon in wasting so much time. So when they do eventually bombard their way out, they don't take the firefights. They do lurk. They do keep their distance. They only really get into encounters where they can effectively trade for one another and just stall Liquid out. And it works to bring the game back to a 2-2 split. But where's it going to go from here? Will this end as a 4-2? Is there room for it to be 3-3? What's the tide going to take? Who's going to pick up momentum into the last couple of rounds here, Tim? As it's looking relatively back and forth right now.
It really is, and I think the questions are largely going to be answered for us in the next couple of rounds, Jackie, because we're back up to dorms, and so far we are 2-2 on the scoreboard. FaZe Clan have only managed to successfully defend the Laundry site. They have failed twice here on the dorms. Now, if they take a loss here, I think they probably try another site for their round 6, but that's always a roll of the dice, just coming in onto a tertiary site for your final defensive round, having not played there at all so far through this map. And FaZe, for me, need to get this one in the book, because otherwise they are reasonably likely to find themselves at a 4-2 disadvantage coming into the second half, and that is going to be tough to overturn, because at that point Liquid only need to find themselves 3 successful sites, and 1 in Laundry, 1 in Dorms. You can see how they tick up very, very quickly.
Talking of ticking by, we do have another poll that came out as well. We asked who was going to win off the back of Map3, and we've got 76% in favour of Team Liquid. Only 24% of the viewers watching the game here believe that FaZe Clan will have the opportunity to win this one. Not much faith in FaZe, but they certainly have faith in themselves for the way they've been playing it, as they kept it close. They've kept us in line. They're not really letting Liquid get too much confidence and start going wild into these rounds. They're keeping them in check, Tim, but there's a whole lot more that needs to be done going forward into this one. Still 2 minutes left to work with. Obviously, Team Liquid on their attack, inch by inch, starting to hoover up bits of map control.
This is 5 still. We find ourselves PSK just opening up that attic wall now, so that has always been step 1 so far for Team Liquid. They're about 10 seconds behind where they have been previously. They've been slightly quicker in getting that open before, but it hasn't really been too much of a focus of the overall attack. They've basically challenged here for a little while, and then they've moved themselves over to Master, and that's exactly what PSK is doing at the minute. He's going to move himself around and try to start working on getting that closet wall open. Once again, Palu is playing on the underneath, in and around meeting, classroom, that sort of area, looking for any verticality that he can put onto them, and he's also there ready to support the push when it does come through into game round. Now, if Palu can show us that sort of patience that he's had previously, I think he's well aware that a man is creeping up the stairs here. That's surely going to be the opener for Palu onto Astro. He will take the Jaeger off the board, and that is largely the roam game dealt with now. Palu can look to either pressure white stairs or support the armory push as and when the time comes, but right now, PSK's next job and the most important thing for him to do right now is to get that game room wall open.
50 seconds remain then. It's a 5 versus 4. It's an advantage for Liquid, and it makes their lives easier. But again, they're not going to advance off the back of it. They won't charge their way in and sprint into the unknown. They're going to make this one a marathon. sustain that speed until the last possible second when it's needed most. Nesk will be the one to initiate the fight, it seems, from this point on the Ash, waiting for the peak to come around. That free speed can pay off dividends if he wants to charge his way in and start windmilling in towards the site. We could have a pixel peak coming out from PSK as well, Tim. 20 seconds now, and they've still charged through. They are waiting, looking for another face, edging their bets that maybe FaZe Clan will extend out and give them another frag. But mistakes could be made. Nesk, confidence being sapped away from him. He drops down to the ground and he actually gets the frag in the end. He might have taken a couple of bullets, but he'll be also taking names. When they do push their way in, they clean up frag after frag. It's all left on Mav. He's got to deny the diffuser, but there's no opportunity. He can't turn the corner. He can't get in there to find the kill, and it's going to be a flawless round for Liquid.
It doesn't matter what you do to Nesk, does it? He just wins fights. He took huge damage there. Does he back away from it? Does he try to push another angle? Absolutely not. He just drops prone instead, comes back, challenges the same one and gets the kill. And that is what makes him such a difficult player to play against. No matter what you bring to him, he'll always find a solution. He'll always find a way around it. That was just a phenomenal display from him there and from Team Liquid. Very solid attack of domes once again. And as suggested, that is going to force FaZe away. They're going to head to a tertiary site in Meeting and Kitchen now. And this is a site that historically FaZe have got Liquid have got 100% attacking record into the Meeting site. So it's not going to be easy for FaZe here. They are very likely going to be heading into the next half 4-2 down.
And what a shocker that would be. It would leave them in a horrendous position when you think about it going forward. It's going to be so hard for them to get momentum, Tim. They're going to be on the back foot, down in rounds, and it wouldn't take much for Liquid to actually then make their moves to the final. We could have a Liquid NIP rematch in the final, Tim.
Tantalising, isn't it?
I guess you're excited, doesn't it? I guess you're licking your lips a little bit, thinking about the possibility for it.
Lip smacking, Jackie. We just head into the kitchen, ready to cook up a delicious meal ahead of that final here. Kitchen and Meeting will be the site for round number 6, and it is going to be the final defensive round for FaZe Clan, and they really need to make a move here. They really need to come out and show us what they've got. This is the time. This is the sort of pressure that champions are forged under, and right now, FaZe, they're starting to buckle a little bit. They are struggling to get anywhere but laundry in the books, and they really need to. They need to be coming out 3-all here to give themselves every opportunity that they can on the attack. We can see the Mozzie just around rear stage there, trying to prevent the information game, but also just trying to apply pressure to those attackers. He knows this is all going to be about rear stage for Team Liquid. They want to get control, they want to open that wall up, and they want to go for the plant in behind the parapet. That is the plan.
2 minutes and 19 seconds. Early into the round. No crazy plays have been seen. No one's been found for FaZe. They're allowed to just lock themselves down, hunker themselves in, and wait for the contact to arrive alive on location. We come down towards the 2-minute mark now as well, as bit by bit, Liquid starting to advance further forward. Again, a bit of a sprint on Tim. They're going in, but we've seen that slow style of siege that they've been playing. It's been working very well for them. There's been a couple of mishaps where there's been a big play. Obviously, Mav, who got the 3K that just denied anything possible from them. That was pretty sick. And left a bit of a scar in them. And there could be some scars being made here off the back of Astro's encounter, Tim. If they push through towards the backstage area, he's going to be lurking. We've seen this angle be so annoying because you can drop down, you can go to prone immediately, you can bob around the right, you can peek from the left. The geometry of the map just benefits you so much on the swing, and you can actually find a lot of damage. And Mav will actually be the one to claim first blood, though, down towards the lower levels as he will overthrow Nesk, and you've lost your Ash immediately.
Great start from Mav there. He's been really alive on the Mozzie. It's something that we saw from him for the first 30 seconds or so of the round, was just bouncing up and down, left and right. He was just getting himself all over the place, and then takes the drop down the hatch, pops up somewhere else. It's a bit like whack-a-mole, except that whack-a-mole is able to come back with a kill of its own, Jackie. Absolutely wiping Nesk off the board and giving FaZe the advantage here. We can see he's going to be challenged on the freezer stairs, though. Takes some damage off Moringa. Will not take any bullets himself and will dip away to try and fight another day. Or is he just, I think he's just off the left of our screen at the very top of the stairs. He will be, and shut down as Palu manages to get one onto Yuna. But once again, the momentum just does not stay with FaZe. Live will shut Palu down, but Liquid have got control over the rear stage area now. They are in a position to potentially think about going in and getting that diffuser down. But here we go. We've got a quick rotate coming around. Challenge is made from Freezer Stairs once again. PSK looks to move away. Time is ticking down. They don't have much time here, and this could be a fatal decision for Team Liquid. This rotation round to the kitchen side could leave them with not enough time to need, and right now Sexy Cake has no choice but to run into sight. FaZe win it out. Difficult sight for them, and that could be important in the grand scheme of things here.
It very well could be. Rather than it being a 4-2 split, instead obviously it ends with the way it's just gone. 3 rounds a pop. Both of them keeping it close as it physically could have been here on the third map. It's been a long series between these two. They've been fighting back. They've had overtimes. They've had clutches. They've had crazy shenanigans. From top to bottom, this series has been a blockbuster, but there is still more seats to be filled. Still a second half to go, as we're only really now getting into the raw meat and potatoes of this matchup, Tim. Equal turn of the half, 3 rounds apiece. We move over FaZe onto their attack and we put Liquid onto their defense. And Liquid's defense has been a gigantic asset. It's been where they've done some of the more monstrous, crazy rounds that we've seen throughout the course of the regular season. And of course, even here in the major, they've had some wild plays when they've been on the backbone of their defense. And I feel like that's what's going to come out here tonight again.
Nesk has been really solid holding down the bunker from Laundry. That's where we will likely see him play on the Jaeger. He's been a real phenomenon in there. He will play the deployable shields. He'll make it as difficult as he can, but he'll also then quite often reinforce up that rotation behind him. He leaves himself enough time to escape and just panel it up behind him. But right now, Liquid, they're going to look to get this one on the board. We can see a reasonably normal coming in from them. Palu will get the meeting hatch. Everything is as we would expect downstairs. There will be a man playing. Generally for Liquid, it's a high line. In Freezer, he'll play at the bottom of stairs, usually with a shotgun in hand, so that will potentially be Moringa. He will just be playing right up in the face of any attackers that want to try and push down those Freezer stairs. We've also got Nesk out on the roam a little bit, which is unusual. As I said, he usually plays in that space in bunker. Moringa's out there at the minute. It might well be that they're just going to exchange places. That's exactly what is happening. Little tag team move there. Jackie's just leaning his way over the top rope there, just begging for the tag in.
Just wanting it. Hoping someone's going to give him the baton, Tim, and the go-ahead to just be a bit of a bruiser.
Bruisers and what they're going to be looking to dish in out here as Moringa and Nesk. They are just really alive at the minute. We saw them exchange places, and as I said, Moringa, he loves that position down at the bottom of the Freezer stairs. We've seen him do some great work, both with the toxic canisters just to hold the attackers at bay, but also raining in kills on the shotgun, just putting, as you like to call it, Jackie, that big popper pump to great use. Just kill and move, and that is what Moringa does so well. You can see he never likes to stand still down here, but right now he is not going to be pressured. He's just going to keep holding on to that angle. Nesk, he's holding down bunker, and this is a slow approach so far from FaZe Clan. No major map possession gained yet.
Really keeping it quite slow into the grand scheme of the... Doing quite a good Liquid impression with the way they're playing it. There's going to be some depression, potentially, if they go down these stairs, as they're going to get compressed upon by Moringa, waiting with the shotty, ready to strike, and strike hard with that bad boy, unleashing some slugs and some buckshot into anyone that comes towards him. As the peak will come around, though, he could dome the first man, and live shots coming across. PSK going to get punished. He'll back off. Oh, but the angle was prepared for. Live with the adjustment. Finds the head of Nesk. A good frag to pick up, coming in at quite possibly the best time they could ask for one. And they're pressuring towards the other stairway as well, Tim. They're putting the fear onto Moringa, slowing down the overall course of the round. He's going to get decked. We also see PSK going down. Everyone is falling here. It's a 2 versus 5 for Liquid. The opening round on their defense looks to be falling through the cracks bit by bit. It's all crumbling away like a Lego set that's been dropped. It's not looking good. Palu, he'll be the next one to be broken, but no, he won't. He'll bite back, shoots through the wall as he shatters the skull of the man on the other side. Sexy Cake chimes in with one as well, and it's all left on Palu. 10 kills to his name. Can he turn that to 13 frags here? No, he cannot. He's going to be left dead on the ground, finished off by Ion on the turnaround, and FaZe, they pick up a big round here on their attack.
Big start for FaZe there, and that is a real message sent to Team Liquid now. If you want that spot in the grand final, you are going to have to fight for it, and we've spoken a bit on the defense and the fact that they have been reasonably solid on there so far, but we have to also look towards FaZe's attacking stats, and they're not too shabby, let me tell you that, here on Oregon. They have got a good couple of 70% plus win rates on a number of sites here. Now, interestingly, Laundry and Basement is their absolute worst attacking site, which is exactly what you would expect. 27% win rate. So is that a real sign of things to come there, Jackie? It's just gets better and better for here from FaZe. For here on in, it's, you know, they have been better and better on the different sides.
Oh, mate, they're certainly starting to get themselves, like, woken up into the game now. You can see the strength is back, right? The speed's returning. They're looking furious in the way they're playing it. They're starting to hit their shots and gaining momentum. And that's what you want to see. Them actually picking up the speed and being able to find these frags in these close clutch rounds. There was a minute there where I started to gasp and I was thinking, oh, no, this is going to be the comeback. Palu starts to hit his shots, right? Just the quick reactions of it. That's what's so crazy about this man, is it's how quickly he can take a round from nothing and almost make it winnable. The amount of times we've seen it, it really does just leave you consistently scratching your head and thinking, is there anything that he can't do? Is there any position where it's not possible for him to just do so much damage?
One thing we need to watch for on the Liquid attack as well is it slowing down. Sorry, the Liquid defense is just them not being as aggressive and just slowing down in the round. And we've seen there Moringa playing that high line up onto the freezer stairs, and it is something that has been, you know, pretty consistent theme of the Liquid defense here on Oregon. Play aggressively, get right up in the faces and take the challenge, play a high line and don't let them have too much map control. And as FaZe start to beat them back, they've just lost one round there. If FaZe get this round up in domes as well, Liquid, they've got to make sure that they still keep bringing that pressure, they still keep applying that force, because if they start to roll over, you can guarantee that FaZe will just step all over them.
Few minutes here. The 3-4 split. Drones coming in. Info being gifted back to FaZe Clan. And FaZe Clan looking like they want to try and turn that tempo up relatively soon and bombard their way through. See if they can topple the defense of Liquid and take what they so dearly need. That's coveted 5th round to get them closer and closer to being able to pick up the series win and make their move towards the grand final. That is what they're playing for, and FaZe right now are the ones that are further ahead and getting themselves towards that position. Nitro going out, but no one's going to be left dead because of it. It'll just be a bit of a shockwave that will ripple across and slow down the momentum of the game. Floorboards being renovated as they'll be peeled clean back, trying to open up a position for damage to come out for Ion, but in the end, it's Sexy Cake, the rampant roamer, that's building up speed as he sprints around with a Vector and cuts his way through anyone that peeks out, and he's set up as well for the potential to just charge his way out here and maybe go for something quite bold and audacious. If he fancies going for the run out, the cards are presenting it that way.
I think this is the point where we start needing to see those sorts of players the doubt into the mind of your opposition here and just get out and really make yourself unpredictable. But we've seen Liquid have a great defense in dorms. They are the team I was talking about when I said we've seen those 3v5s overturned. We've seen the core of the defense here in dorms very difficult, and it has been consistent across many teams, but Liquid have really personified that. And right now we can see them on that high line, and that will be a shotgun kill from PSK. He will be shut down by Mav on a direct trade, but it leaves us 4 versus 3, 20 seconds left to go. Diffuser down cold on the ground right now, and they are left here. FaZe just looking for kills, but they will not find them. The only kills that will come in will be deaths of their own, as Nesk and Palu once again just double up to absolutely decimate here in dorms, and that is going to be Yuna Gets one as a consolation, but shut down by Moringa. Round 8 goes to Team Liquid. We are 4-all. And I think you, I, and everybody at home knows where this is likely headed, Jackie.
Getting closer and closer towards that overtime stance. Ooh, it could be an overtime scenario if they maintain the pace like this, because it's so back and forth. No one's being able to build themselves a big buffer and create distance. They're just reeled back in. After every turn, someone will be able to make a big play. And FaZe, they had theirs a round ago. And then Liquid show up this round. They come out big. They hit their shots. They start to get the momentum back. And it's scary because obviously they've got the 3 musketeers. The 3 horsemen of the Siege Apocalypse with the way they play it. Palu, Moringa, and Ned feeling like they're the arbiters of death with the way they're coming out the plate tonight, Tim. 11 frags, 6 frags, 6 frags across the board. Basically, all of the team is playing to perfection at this point for Team Liquid, and you can see it reflected in the rounds that they're winning. They're showing up when it matters most, and they are certainly enjoying their time in the spotlight.
Not the first time that we've seen Palu go huge here on Oregon versus MIBR partway through the season. He went 15-6, plus 9 overall, 2.5 KD, and had a 1vx as well in there to boot to win a round. So Palu certainly knows his way around this new map of Oregon, and he will, if they give him the chance, do some real damage. At the minute, he's on 11 frags, and you could easily see that turning into 16, 17 within a couple of rounds if he gets that sort of leeway. So FaZe, they need to make sure that they have him penned in. They need to recognise which operators he's going to be playing on and try and single him out, try and get him shut down and dealt with.
Shut down, put him in a box, stop him from being able to expand out of control into these rounds and do a little bit of damage going forward. Tim, round 9, it's all tied up. It's close as physically can be, and it's getting far too close for comfort. It's going to be uncomfortable for Liquid and FaZe right now because they just want to create distance. They want to get themselves into a show-stopping position to at least lock this series down and move forward, to know that they are fighting NIP tomorrow, to know that they have completed their lower bracket slog and that they will be back fighting for the championship position of being crowned the of the 6th major here for LATAM. That is what is on the cards if they win this matchup here on Oregon. There is no do-overs. There is no safety net. There is no maps after this. It all came down to this map, and it's been incredibly back and forth with what we've been given so far.
You're gonna take a small amount of damage there from the Kaid Electrical on the hatch. He doesn't mind that. He's just going to guarantee that that hatch gets opened up, and we can see all the defender utility, or most of it, is still in place here. And Palu, he's just looking to assist Moringa in the hold of Freezer Stairs, but right now there is not too much attention being paid. But we can see there's a number of men above them, and that is starting to mount from FaZe Clan here into the second half. They are going to look to push from 2 sides simultaneously, which is generally a good idea. You don't want those one-dimensional pushes because it allows the defenders to all focus on that one area. And how about that for a nade from Mav? He will open things up with a kill onto Moringa. 5 versus 4 now, and FaZe, they're looking to come out and show us that those poor attacking stats here from previous rounds on Laundry and Basement are not quite the whole picture.
Who is going to be the artist with the 8K? Who's going to paint a pretty picture into this round and be able to save the day? Is it going to be Nesk for Team Liquid as he shows up first and shows up the most with a punishing play coming out as he'll drop live? That's Thatcher the Smasher out of commission, but Yuna will trade back. Thermite starting to turn up the heat and turn up the tempo in a round as we get into the final 30 seconds. The aggression's crazy! Swinging wide with the Nitro. Sexy Cake leaving himself susceptible to be stunned down. He gets the Nitro out, but it's not going to kill it. It'll detonate, but it won't do any damage, and he's left lifeless on the ground in the end. This is getting rough now, Tim. Nesk as well overpowered as Astro and Yuna. They both hit a kill at the exact same time, and again, FaZe Clan will bounce back. You can push them, you can shove them, but whenever they're ready for it, they will rock back up and keep the game close.
5 versus 4 now. FaZe coming in and getting another second attacking win on a site that previously they have struggled with. And if that is not a message that they want this as much as anybody else in the world, then I don't know what is. They are right now finding themselves a way. They just keep nudging themselves in front. The question is, can they come through? Can they really do this? Can they be the ones to dispatch Team Liquid, that team that looks looked so consistent and so great throughout the regular season, just faltered at the end. And are they going to falter here inside the major? Will we really see them only win one matchup in the major out of 3? Is that the reality that we're facing right now?
Well, for FaZe, they're 2 rounds away from making that speculation fact, making it a reality, giving a reality check to Team Liquid, because they are going to be doubting themselves. They'll be frustrated with the outcome, especially when you think of all of this was spawned off the back of 1 round and 1 flashbang for Palu back on Clubhouse, Tim. The difference the outcome could have been, the difference the timeline could have been. Maybe we'll see if it all is going to be taken for FaZe here, if they will win on Oregon, or if this is going to be going to an overtime. Can come back into it, start throwing out some shapes, start cutting their way through the competition and keeping it close. With the way it's been going, I wouldn't be surprised if it went 5-5.
Absolutely not. I would totally agree with you. I think that we're probably going to see this one come down to 12 rounds, whether that leads into overtime or not. But whether it does lead into overtime or not, it's worth us mentioning that there will be more Siege for you one way or another. If this ends in 12, don't go anywhere. If it ends in 15, don't go anywhere, because one way or another, we have also got another match coming up for you. We're going to have a best of 5, which will be the pinnacle of the Mexican division of the LATAM region as well. So plenty more Siege, a few new players for you, I am sure, a few new teams for you to get used to, but some more fantastic entertainment, and we're going to have Blue and Stokes bringing that one for you.
My Bonnie boy Blue's going to be coming out with, of course, the Blue Eyes White Dragon himself in Stokes. Don't go anywhere with that one, as it will be a showstopper, but keep yourself tuned in for the quality seeds that we've got at hand right now as well, because it's a 5-4. And it's been so damn good, it's leaving me wanting more. And I'm waiting to see if we're going to be cooking raw into round 10 here. Who's going to be screaming? Who's going to be kicking up a fuss? Will it be FaZe or will it be Liquid, as they start to reposition, sprinting their way from the competition? Shotgun, primed and ready. Moringa, ready for the one-pump special through the window. Will he be going for the punishing player? Is he just going to wait on the lurk? Peeks in, takes a bullet, but takes names off the back of it, as Ion, the man, has been scalped. He's ground. Say goodbye to your Ash and say goodbye to any of your entry potential on that first encounter. Here comes Palu as well with another one, as he's able to bite it down very hard, but their jaw might get dislocated off the back of it, Tim, as everyone's being overthrown. It's all on Nesk and Sexy Cake now into a 2 versus 3. FaZe Clan, somehow they've resurged massively here into the round, and they're keeping the dream alive. If they can get this, they will get themselves a 6th on the board. They will guarantee OT, and they'll be 1 away from the win up against Team Liquid. That's 2 away from going to the grand final against Ninjas in Pajamas tomorrow in a best of 5. Sexy Cake, have you got anything to say for that? Can you end their hopes and dreams and somehow come back into it and clap back in the game? 40 seconds, Tim. It's up to Nesk and Sexy to deny that outcome.
Such a lot of time to be eaten up here by the remaining members of Team Liquid, and Nesk showing, as he always does, his confidence in the angle that he's holding. We don't see him faltering. He knows his game sense is telling him that's where the push is going to come from. He's going to just hold on to that doorway and just try to lock it down. Sexy Kate will take over the hatch, and that now leaves us with the floor being opened up, but that time has ticked away, Jackie. That 40 seconds has become 9 seconds, and in comes the collapse. Live gets the kill onto Sexy Cake. Nesk with 1. Can he get 2? He needs 2 more, though. That is the big thing. He gets the first. Surely he can't do this. The diffuser goes down. He knows where the man is. Shots exchange. He gets shot in the back. FaZe absolutely by the skin of their teeth take round 10. Live somehow keeps alive. Gets the kill onto Nesk. I really thought that the talisman of Team Liquid was going to do that one then.
Man, as close as it physically could be. But in the end, it is a round for FaZe. They get themselves to 6. They're 1 away. 1 away from the grand final. From fighting back from what was a crushing defeat on Coastline to getting themselves into this position where it's now 6-4. and they just really want to lock it down. Don't let it go on any longer than it needs to. Finish the game here against Liquid if you want to make your way through and stride into the final for the rematch against Team NIP to face off against them and try and bring the ruckus to them. Championship Sunday to try and win yourself the lion's share of the prize pot. Go toe-to-toe for that 50 grand and those big SI points to help yourself potentially qualify to go into that 6th invitational later on down the line. There is so much on the line, but this game isn't over yet. Team Liquid, wake up call, news flash, 6-4. Be here, turn up right now. You are late to the action, Tim. They're falling behind, they're climbing a greasy pole, and they're losing their grip. They need to do something soon.
The excitement right now is absolutely palpable, Jackie. You can just taste, you can feel the tension on the surface here as Team Liquid are heading towards their demise. If this continues, FaZe Clan have been electric on the attack so far. As much as Liquid have kills in, it hasn't mattered. And FaZe, they've always found a trade, they've always found a way, they've always found a fight back into the round. And right now they are on the verge of lining themselves up with that rematch, and it is going to be absolutely huge. But how about that Nesk? He's alive, he's ready to fight, and he takes Astro right off the rappel, rips him down, takes the rope away, and just slams him into the ground with a headshot. And that now leaves us in a 5 versus 4. Twitch off the board, that's a good gun gone, and it is going to make this push even more difficult for FaZe Clan now. They need to try and get the angles opened up and apply whatever the pressure they can directly into the sight on these defenders. From Attic, from Master Bedroom, they need to be working every angle available to them right now.
Terrifying when you think about it, because obviously for Team Liquid, even with a 1 frag advantage, they're going to know that they can't start to get overly confident. They can't go for these crazy plays they normally would, because if they do, if they throw away this lead, they could throw away their tournament lives. They could throw away their run at the 6 major here today if they concede this one. So they've got to keep it clean. They've got to play smart, pull those socks up and get their boots firmly in position. Looking for frags right now, though, just playing defensive. Moringa! Oh, he was waiting, watching through the floorboards. The man won't even react. But, you know, deep inside, he's going to be frustrated as he's been picked to pieces. The skeleton key opening him up. And is that the front door of the game being opened here? This FaZe Clan coming in and saying that they're home, Tim, and that they're here to stay, that they want to take it 7-4 and be going to the grand final. Is that what that was?
1 minute left to go. We will find out whether Team Liquid can be phased or whether they can keep themselves calm and see this one into round 12. Sexy Kate will get a kill onto live, and that is the diffuser down, and I think they are fully aware of that as the ping goes out. So Team Com's now shouting up that there is no diffuser. So it's basically a case of keep yourself alive for the time being. Somebody will try and watch that vertical angle. In comes the Incandela though, and here comes the push from FaZe. Showing at every turn, and Liquid, they are fighting. Liquid, they want that position in the grand final. They're on the jump outs, they're everywhere right now. They are sweeping over FaZe like a tidal wave here in round 11, and we are going to see all 12 in regulation, and we might just see overtime again.
Match point 6-5. The game is very, very much alive, and so is the dream for any of the Team Liquid fans that are going to be sitting there screaming at their monitors, kicking up a fuss, getting frustrated, getting furious, and getting damn hyped up when we start to see these killer pincer plays that are coming out, because it looks absolutely wild with the way it's been played here. 6-5, Tim. It comes down to another round now to decide whether or not if this is going to be a tied up game, 6-6 apiece. If it gets to that point, we go into OT. Off the back of that, we'll see where we go. Strap in, get your head down, and find yourself in the brace position, because the game is going to be way too hard to call.
The thing is, it's anybody's if it goes into overtime, because if it goes into overtime, we've basically gone 3-0 on each side. That's, you know, what we're facing. So at that point is just a roll of the dice. You can't really see that there is any major advantage for anybody to be on the attack or the defense first. It is literally going to come down to pure gun skill and who can win out those fights. Right now, Liquid, they've still got a round to win yet before we head into that position. FaZe Clan could snatch this one away, but if history is anything to go by, Map3 usually goes to overtime, Jackie. That's what we've seen so far. Maximum entertainment, maximum tension, and maximum fun here in the LATAM Major.
Maximum speed has been reached as well, as it does feel like right now we're watching crank because the heart rates have to keep up. You've got to keep that tempo pounding, and that's what we've seen coming through from Liquid with the way they have been playing it. They have been a bruiser cruiser, docking in and dealing death every single time they come across someone that dares to defy them. Once again, you're going to be taught a lesson. Nesk, 13 frags to his name. Maiming is his game. And Ion was the next man to be slain for FaZe. Drops down to the ground once again, dead before he even hits the bottom of the floor. 2 minutes and 18 seconds on the clock, and they've given themselves a 5 versus 4 here into the round to fight for survival to take it to OT, Tim.
Boy, oh boy, this one is going to come right down to the wire. Team Liquid have given themselves every advantage that they need. It's only Ion. I say only Ion. He's had a great game so far. What I mean by that is actually it's only Ash that has been lost on the side of the attackers. So not the end of the world. You're not going to reel too much. It's not going to smart too hard, isn't that one? Because you generally expect to potentially lose her. She is there for the entries. But Moringa, he is still locked in place down at the bottom of the freezer stairs. And they're going to need a better performance down there. Last time, that was where it all sort of crumpled here on Laundry. They managed to get the 2 kills in Laundry and move down and just take complete control from that side of the site. And right now they need Moringa to lock this down. That is where the pressure is going to come. We can see there are 3 men above them. Are they going to dip away from this and just try to fight it a little bit deeper? It looks like that is the case. Just try to keep yourself alive into the later round, burn more time. Out comes the Toxic Babe canister. That's going to hold them at bay for another 10, 15 seconds. We can see shots just going on there. Moringa, he decides to go hard here. He goes up. He's got the shotgun in hand. Is he going to get himself some kills? He's still being supported by Palu. They are absolutely not scared of this challenge on Freezer Stairs.
50 seconds. Time ticking away. A pivotal round here. One that will decide the fate of these 2 teams. If it is going to be FaZe confirming themselves as our second finalist going into the best of 5 tomorrow on Championship Sunday. Or if it's going to be Liquid keeping the dream alive. Giving all of their fans a sigh of relief. And giving themselves an opportunity, Tim, to make their moves into OT. And the shots are being landed. For whom the bell tolls going forward. It seems like it is going to be ringing in the ears of FaZe Clan, but they bounce back. They get themselves a kill at the very least, taking it 3-1. Now with just Yunar as the last man alive, bullets rattling down through all the walls. He might be firing off all these panic shots, but the issue is he is going to be panicked and he's going to be done. The round is over. 6-6, no time, out of luck. Liquid will win the round, take it all the way to overtime as the scoreline is brought back within an inch. Oh my, Tim, here we go. OT's kicking off. Oregon, this is it. 3rd and final map. Final overtime. We're going to see who is going to be crowned the champion on this one. Who will confirm themselves as the finalists.
I can't take much more of this, Jackie.
It's ridiculous. It just is ridiculous.
I cannot take much more of this sort of adrenaline and excitement at this time of night, and that's exactly what these teams keep dishing up for us. They keep taking it all the way. It just goes to show how competitive a region LATAM is and why it's worth investing that time in, because this is what we see week after week. It is so difficult to call. They are so closely fought. Every single match is coming down to the wire, and right now this is another one that is potentially going all the way to a maximum of 15 rounds. Right now, we have seen 12. There is nothing to separate these 2. Liquid, they come in on the defense. There is no real advantage to be gained defense or attack at the minute. So far, we've seen 3-all on either. It's been very even. And even then, the individual rounds within those halves have always seemed to come down to the very wire. They've always been down to 2 versus 2, 2 versus 1. It's always been tight at the end. And Liquid will start on defense. They're going to go to dorms. This is the site that they've had the most success with so far today. That was their first successful attempt onto Laundry, so no surprises to see them avoiding the FaZe attack down there in the basement, at least for the time being. But they are going to come out for now into dorms, and they need to lock this down. Both teams need this. Getting the first round in overtime is just such a massive step for you, because it gives you 2 opportunities to close it out, whereas the others, they can have a maximum of 1.
Over 1,000 people voted believing that this game would go to OT, and you got your wish. You got what you were hoping for. I hope you're strapped in. I hope you haven't had a heart attack and you're ready. Your pacemaker's keeping you all alive and kicking, because this game is going to go down kicking and screaming. We're into OT here. Team Liquid are on defense. FaZe Clan are coming out on the attack, looking to try and cause some absolute anomalies. If they can hit their shots and cause some atrocities going forward as the shots are raining out early on. Close contact going to be found soon, you'd imagine. As FaZe, they don't tend to muck about. They've been taking a little bit of a faster style of siege into these rounds, and it's also been their droning phases that have been so damn effective for them. The information they've been relaying has been major entry kills, and they've been getting those entries. It's just been the bounce back that's been coming out from Team Liquid that's really left them going down in a hizzy, because you might get the first pick, but then Palu will come through and he'll take 2 names for every one you find.
Team Liquid have been that, you know, that guy who slips on a patch of ice, but somehow just impossibly recovers it, just manages to get his feet locked down, just styles it out, slides away onto that dry pavement, and away he goes with his day. It's a once-in-a-lifetime accomplishment, but Team Liquid, that is exactly what they've been, as you say, just coming in and just taking that early slip with those entry kills, generally going in the direction of FaZe Clan, but they've always managed to style it out. They've always managed to get the trade. They've always managed to bring themselves back into it, and right now, they're getting the just rewards. They've got their opportunity to get themselves into the grand final. Let's not forget FaZe Clan were 6-4 up at a point, and Team Liquid have had to fight their way back into this. But they carry, if there is any momentum to be carried, it is on the side of Team Liquid. With 2 successful rounds, we're going to have the first challenge coming together, and Ness just manages to escape there. Pre-fires the door, and he's going to dip away to White Stairs. Mav gets the kill onto Moringa with a nade. So that leaves us 5 versus 4. Early advantage going to FaZe Clan, but there is a long way to go here. There is a long 20 seconds left in this one, and there are questions to be answered. Double kill comes in for Mav. He's done an absolute job on the rappel. PSK fights back. That's 1. Diffuser is going down from Astro though, and that is a smart kill from Sexy Cake. Puts the diffuser on the ground. There's 3 seconds left to go. He's won this round. Surely that is going to be all, but Yuna goes in and collects it. And right now, he is behind a wall. Sexy Cake is 1 versus 2. Diffuser will be confirmed. And this is going to be a big finish here. This is going to be fireworks. Sexy Cake, he's looking for a 1 versus 2 clutch. It will be 1 versus 4 overall, as he managed to start this off with a double. But right now, he needs to make a move. He has absolutely no idea where the last 2 men are. He spots 1 out, does he? No, the bed is just in his way. As is the second time around, he's going to have to move to the rotation, and that is where they are waiting for him. 13 seconds left for him to make a move here. He's going to have to go into sight. He finds 1. Shots are exchanged. He gets 1, but perfectly traded. FaZe play that beautifully. Yuna and Mav just trading each other out, and that is how you win a 2 versus 1.
Oh, man. Tim. It's so rough. He played it as best as he physically could as well, looking for the bait out, going for the jiggle peek through the doorway to clear the close right before he fully committed to the run-in. At that point, though, what can you do? You're outnumbered. They're both in fantastic angles. The map geometry complements them so much as well because of the post plant that they went for. It's just so hard. He fought back massively. That was a show-stopping play. And with, what, 2 seconds? They managed to just get the diffuser down. Yuna goes for the confidence ball of realizing, I need to plant. It's plant or lose. And they chose the first option. And that gives them a 7th round. Now, Tim, this is where, again, we fall back into the position of you need to win another one on the spin. FaZe have to pick up their second now as they're on their defense to take it 8-6. Or if Team Liquid bring 7 will go to a sudden death, where one final round will decide the outcome of the game. That is what we're working with here. That is what stands between these two teams, and that is what stands between them going to the grand final of the 6th major here for LATAM in tomorrow's games.
I just feel like we already know where this is going, Jackie. We already know this is going to round 15, and it's going to come down to two operators, 1v1. They're going to have one bullet each left only in the pistol, and it's just going to go absolutely crazy for who gets that grand final position. But FaZe, they have got a strong site here to defend. They're going to go down to the laundry. It's not been the best site on the day, to be fair, for the defenders. We have seen a few successful attacks down here.
Are we going to see another one tonight, Tim? Will we be able to see a big, bold play coming out? Some last-minute fireworks and really send the sparks flying so that everyone is sat there, strapped in, waiting for the result into the sudden death. That could be where we go with this. There's potential for it, and it almost feels like it'd be rude not to get that final round played out. And Team Liquid, they're not going to be content with just letting the game end here now. They'll want to come back out strong, especially being back on the attack as well. It feels like the opportunities will present themselves, Tim. The story writes itself at this point.
It writes itself all the way into round 15, but the entry battle is going to be a significant one here. And right now, Liquid, they need say one of those hero players, but realistically we could make an argument for all 5 of them being those players on the right day, and we just need somebody here to step up and really do something in this round. They need a big 2k, a big 3k. They just need to power themselves forward and get some sort of advantage. They're going to try to get that hatch open. That will be the Hibana of Nesk doing that to begin with. Out goes the second EMP just to ensure that there is no Kaid tricking going on there. That's the hatch open, so a little bit of vertical pressure can be mounted, but none of the defenders will be playing underneath that hatch, so there's not going to be any direct kills coming out from that position, I wouldn't expect. And we can see now Pillars is being held down by FaZe for the time being as the pressure mounts from bunker and as the pressure mounts from the rear stage stairs. I'm sure that those players will look to drop back further into sight, but we can see ahead of us there are 3 silhouettes in the distance, and the push is definitely going to mount from bunker. They are going to have to force the man away now. Generally speaking, Liquid here, they get themselves into a position to plant. We've seen that twice so far today, Jackie. We've seen it shut down by FaZe twice, once by Astro, and I think the other was Live. They just got in there. It might have been Mav, just got a couple of big kills towards the end of the round to leave the diffuser on the ground, and that's something that Liquid need to be aware of. The cover must be better for PSK.
35 seconds left. This is it. This is what it's all been building up to. This could be the last round of the game for FaZe if they hit their shots. If they come up top trumps into the execute. Sexy Cake taking a ton of ailing. Tag after tag, the damage over time burning him down, but the shots are going to be short fire bangers coming through as Nesk starts to drop bars, slaying his way through Astro. The contact peak there is deadly. Big pop pump. Surely it's not up to this man to finish it all off the back of the shotty. Yuna with a hat trick converts it into the quad kill as a conundrum has come around. It's all on PSK. He's got to get the diffuser down. He's going to be overwhelmed. Yuna charges in. Oh no! What a way to end it. Yuna, you are disgusting, Tim. That is not acceptable behavior on the server. FaZe Clan are going to the final. Liquid have been knocked out of the major. They leave, losing out in the lower bracket final as FaZe Clan have only gone and done it in overtime on Oregon.
Agony on the server for Team Liquid there as they find themselves heading out of the LATAM Major, winning only 1 of their 3 games